Hello, and welcome back again. Time to move forward for part 11. Last time we just did a little bit of questing, getting a little bit of fill-in lore, doing some side quest action, and now we're about to do some more. I've got us lined up with a lot of quests, and then we're moving on to the next bit. Learned a little bit about Ultima, what the overall goal is, what's happening, what's popping, what's good, what's bad. So with all of that incredible information, let's go ahead and move on to the next part and take care of these side quests so that we can enjoy the deep, rich lore ahead of us. Divissimo AV, everyone, hello, welcome. Glad to have you here for another banging stream. Hope we make some good progress today. But of course, first things first, quest time. Commencing in 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to try to take care of these things in order and come back here. So let's start with number 1.
Nothing like a little unrest.
There were ghosts at the gates, not days.
Rush Pirate, ahoy hoy, welcome in.
The creatures have
To the meadows, then.
That's what the cats. Yeah.
Pockety said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot. Straight home now. Now that is heady. This must be the Drake's Mint. That just leaves the Skyworm. This must be our wyvern. All right. Let's get this over with. Thanks, boy.
Help me, boy. To me, boy. I've heard talk. Get him. Nice Joey. Wake up.
And with that final slash, that one goes out to you. AV, thank you for that sub. Look at that. And now you've got all those fancy emotes that look somewhat familiar. AV, thank you for the love. Much appreciated. Super Moose, what's up, dude? Turns out Ultima is just a really big fan of Genesis. Who doesn't like some OG Phil Collins action? I mean, it's good stuff. Thanks for the boop. Thanks again, Moose, for being here. Hope you're having a good evening. Hope you're all having a good evening. I want to try to power through this stuff. Good Lord. Get these quests out of the way. I don't mind the quests so much. You do get a lot of good stuff typically, but my problem is sometimes they just drag. Like, okay, can we speak a little bit quicker? Can we go? Now, if I was playing off stream, I'd just be tapping that X button. I'd just be like, But some of the quests actually have really good lore in them, so I can't complain sometimes.
I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect her recipe. Better head back.
You've been ignoring them? The more help, the better. All the little bit of ish that you get from them goes a long way. But hey, you know what? That's typically the way I roll too, so I don't blame you at all. Usually in games that have quests, I'm like, all right, what's not important? I'm not doing that.
The bandits, maybe.
It shouldn't be too hard to find goods.
The gentlemen of the town guard.
Could be I know something more.
Clive, listen! I found someone who says he's heard the rumors about Nan.
Have you?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Karen's been selling steel to whoever will pay her price, be they knight or knave. Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, the more war they'll wage. And the more war being waged, the more call for swords and spears. And who will they all turn to keep them in steel? Why, the good Reaper herself.
And you've seen this Reaper at work.
Aye, it just so happens I have. You'll find her right here plying her trade most days.
Here in Delamil. Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market, but if you're not the patient type, you can probably find her at her storehouse on the edge of town. But it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that particular nest of vipers. Feeling bold, traveler? I hope so, for your sake. Now, if that's all, I have places to be.
Sorry to have kept you.
What's up, fat man?
Don't
Welcome
think
in,
that's
bud.
the Reaper, do
Look
you?
at that helmet.
Not unless she's discovered the secret of how to be in two places at once.
Eh? What do you mean?
Lady Karen hasn't left the hideaway in weeks. So who has been running this stall he spoke of?
Good question. I'll go and have a look.
And I'll visit this storehouse on the edge of town.
All right, but be careful, Clive.
You too, Goots.
The finest cell swords in Storm could not. Fuck! How the hell did it?
When did you get so big? Now feel good, boy. Fetch!
Never gets old.
The gentlemen of the town guard are a strap.
Yeah, Avi, everything is like fresh, like I just did today. Some of it just a little bit before I got on, so I have a feeling it might be, maybe, see, maybe if you refresh the page, you never know. It's all a work in progress.
Time to brave the Viper's Nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, or a quick one. Boys, he's all yours. But that sword is mine.
Now, when we could pretend this didn't happen.
Over here! Get him! It's over!
Corvus, welcome to the time loop. I've opened up a dimensional rift, and we're gonna stream again, and again, and again, and again.
Oh, you've done it now.
Go on. Tell me what I've done.
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed his men, he'll have your head. He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Karen's skirts. You weren't even supposed to be here. Who the hell are you anyway?
What were you going to do to him?
The Borgwyn wanted him to get to Karen. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction once he arrived in Dalamil. But then you turned up. Well, go on then. If you're going to end me, end me.
You're not worth the effort. Now be gone, before I change my mind.
Fucking coward!
I need to find Goots. Right now.
Get your filthy paws off me, you naughty-pated lout!
Whoa,
Stop
language.
calling me names! And stop spreading them horrible lies about Nan!
Well, that will be easy enough. For they are not lies. Every last word is true. And she must pay for her crimes in blood.
Blood!
Goot, are you all right?
He's gonna kill Nan! He said she had to pay in blood.
After what she did, it is only right. She ruined my life and the lives of countless others. That loathsome harpy's very existence is a crime, and I will not allow it to continue. Goots, was it?
What's up,
I
Emil?
have no
Yeah, that's why they
quarrel
call
with
it
you.
blood money.
Only with your employer. Run along now. You need not pay for her sins.
No,
No.
I don't care what she did. I won't let you hurt Nan. Promise me you won't hurt her, or I'll kill you myself.
Goot, no.
Enough, all of you!
Karen.
But how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Did you think I wouldn't notice the two of you slinking off together? Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalamil might bear me a grudge? And a certain snivelling shit I ran afoul of in my fairy years came to mind. Though it was just Bogan back then, wasn't it? I thought the years might have taught you some sense, but I see you're the same pants-pissing craven you've always been. What was it we called you? Wet legs?
You bitch! Everything that happened, it was all your fault! And now you'll finally pay for what you did to me!
Gooch, you...
If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck!
You great galoot. Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs, you remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye. Wise words, Sam. Wise words. And now, it's time to collect. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Is he...
Dead? No. But I reckon he wishes he was. It ain't easy going through life one eye short of a pair. After all, I should know.
You don't mean...
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice. Lost it to old Wet Legs back when we were working the same routes. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox. I'd done nothing of the sort, mind. But that didn't stop him taking his little revenge. So took some of my own. Sorry lost everything. His coin, his clients. Always knew he'd be back one day to claim his due. But he crossed a line dragging poor Goots into this. He didn't hurt you, did he?
No, Nan. Still got all my arms, see? Legs too. But what if he comes back again?
What if he does? First we take the other eye, then we work our way down. He'll learn his lesson soon enough. But something tells me the Wet Legs has learned it already. Right. Let's get you back to the hideaway. You've attracted quite enough attention already. Ta-ra, Clive.
Remind me never to cross you, Karen.
Wet Leg seems like a wholly inappropriate name, and I like it. Emil, it's going pretty good, man. Just making some progress, trying to do our thing. Hope you've had a good day today and the week's treating you well.
An excellent choice.
Why, I know. I only make excellent choices, thank you. Speaking of which, now we move on to this one. God, this is going to take forever. We're going to get there, though.
Fate seem bent on driving me from my inn. But if they want me out, they're gonna have to try harder.
My lord Marquis, is that... It is you. Then you received my letter. I am Sebastian Rutherford, chief steward of your lord uncle's estate.
Of course. We met once before.
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did not mean to offend. I merely...
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your lord uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affairs. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crystals has left Storm...
Oh, I definitely know how it do. It's easy to do that many hours in that game.
Subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now commonplace. The gears of governance have ground to a halt, and without a steady hand on the tiller, the realm threatens to drift into utter chaos. Your lord uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to see it set in motion.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high houses. Alas, I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times, even that may not prove sufficient to keep a man safe on the road.
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the Republic, the other the old Imperial capital of Oriflamme.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down. I suppose I'll start in Dalamil and work my way east.
Thank you, my lord. I shall pray for your success and safety.
So, since we're in the middle of doing some questing, and you guys are just chilling, I'm gonna go ahead and throw out something. Now, this is just me. I understand why Clive and the crew want to get rid of the Mother Crystals. I understand the feeling behind it, the idea, the notion. But it seems a little short-sighted to me in the grand scheme of things. I'm hoping that at the end, it's all going to make a little more sense. But at present, it seems like you're just causing more chaos, and it's going to be miserable for everyone for a long, long time. But of course, it's easy to think that in our real world, where magic and stuff is just a fantasy, like an ideal thing that would make life better. So it seems crazy to be like, oh, let's get rid of all this healing and the ability to do fire and ice and whatever whenever we need it. Unimportant. It just seems a little to me. Burnsy, what's up, buddy? Hey, you know what? Glad to have you. Wherever, whenever. You know, like Shakira said. Emil, I always think the same thing, and it happens so often and frequently that I can only imagine that people in Hyrule are like, there he goes again, that goofy old bastard Link. The sage of our modern time, she truly is. I mean, every time that she is in my sight, Burnsy, for some reason I'm truly captivated. I don't know what it is. Can't quite put my finger in it, but I'm sure it's there somewhere.
the gentleman of the town guard.
Faster! Someone's got himself in trouble.
I don't see your master.
Burnsy, I understand why people feel the way they do, but I think it's incredibly fun and the story is very good, so I think it's worth checking out.
I have nothing.
Then maybe we'll take that pretty outfit and the steel you're wearing.
Please! These men are trying to rob me!
I'll deal with this.
Thank you.
I mean, the game is not without its flaws, but overall I've enjoyed it more than anything that's bothered me.
Pay the coin he owes us. We can pretend you didn't draw your blade on Republican soldiers.
Or you can go back to your garrison and I won't report you to your captain.
Oh, you're more than welcome to. He hasn't had many visitors since we slit his throat.
I'd expect as much from Hugo's faithful, but these were men of the fist.
Ooh, men of the fist, kinky.
Much has changed in the Republican army since they lost their rock.
And by the way, Burnsy, after this dialogue, I'll show you the best part of the game.
Many times. I was sent here to observe the situation.
You're one of Rutherford's men. He sent me to look for you.
Well, then you have my thanks. I fancy I could defend myself against one, perhaps two, but a whole regiment. I arrived in Dalimil several days ago, but when I called upon the captain of the local garrison to make inquiries, his men confiscated my effects and locked me in a cell.
The captain is no more, and his men make the rules now.
Fortunately, I was able to bribe my way free, only to be stopped again by those soldiers you so kindly dispatched.
What of the Fist's Central Command? Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness amongst their ranks.
I would imagine they are unaware of it. Most of the army has fallen back to the capital and hunkered down behind her walls. Those who weren't recalled now rule the fringes unchecked, answering to no one but themselves.
Then it's worse than we imagined. You should return to Rosaria. It's not safe here.
I'll find a caravan heading north. You won't mind if I borrow one of these soldiers' coin purses?
Not at all. Now, to find this second associate of Rutherford's. If he was bound for Oriflamme, I'll start at Northreach and see if I can pick up his trail. Now feel good, boy. Get it, boy!
See what I mean? Best Final Fantasy ever made. There's no way you can argue with that. And Emil, I think that's a fantastic name. I'm going to try to remember that in every chat. I'll make sure to try to bring that up. Wet legs.
lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere.
Yes, Rutherford's man could be anywhere. Thank God we've got this handy map marker.
What happened here?
If you're with the others, they've already relieved me of my belongings.
I'm not. I'm looking for someone who was sent here by a man named Rutherford.
And then you found him. I am Alistair Rockford, attendant to the Lady Ariane of House Wellesley.
Of the 7 high houses of Rosaria. It's been a long time since last I saw my great-aunt. Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? Yes. Yes, she is. The Lady Dowager has granted me leave to assist your Uncle Stuart. I was on my way back from the old capital when I saw some villagers being robbed on the road here.
Bandits?
They looked more like field hands, but it didn't matter in the end. I did what I could to help the victims, but all it earned me was a pommel to the temple.
Which way did they go?
South, toward the gate.
All right. I'll take care of them. Founder knows I've met enough of their kind. You head back to Northreach, visit the Vale, tell them I sent you.
Thank you. I shall. Founder be your shield.
They just couldn't resist, could they?
This one's ours, pretty boy.
Make for the town while you can. There may be more bandits nearby.
Best match! Tell me twice. Many thanks, traveler.
Hello, Ember. Thank you for that Subscription. Enjoy the emotage, and thanks for the love.
I thought I told you to make for the Vale.
And stand by as ill might befall the heir to the ducal throne.
It's just Clive, and I'm fine. Which is more than can be said for you.
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in such a brazen attack so close to their gates.
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. Some days they don't even send out patrols. There are few hands left to work the fields, and even fewer to transport the grain. The market stalls are nearly bare, and the price for what remains is exorbitant. It's not uncommon to see a fight break out over a crust of bread. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandits, I meant it. They were probably just desperate.
Rockford, listen to me. If you are to continue your investigation, you first need to seek the attention of a healer.
Of course. I shall
Windows are delicious. They're like thin sheets of sugar. What a great idea.
Allow me to thank you first.
I like the way you think.
Had you not happened along,
Don't thank me. Thank Rutherford. It was he who sent me.
I suppose he'll be wondering where I've got to. I shall send a Bastolus as soon as I'm able. Good day.
My uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. If it isn't already too late. I should go and tell Rutherford that his colleagues are still in one piece.
AV, maybe it's just taking its time to warm up to you. That could be it. Torgal, enjoy your treat. And when it comes to fighting in this game, the battles, I'd say one of the only things I have an issue with, and you've seen it happen to me twice now, you can get stuck on like a rock or something, and it's a little frustrating. Yeah, if you had done all that and the emotes didn't work too, I'd be like, all right, something's up here. It is a conspiracy.
I see you're still here.
The Rest's location affords a constant flow of traders, and with it, a constant flow of information. Speaking of which, I received word from both my associates. They have resumed their investigations, thanks to you.
I only happened to be in the right place at the right time. They both seem to think the realm's prospects rather grim.
I am afraid that grim would be putting it lightly. Storm is in crisis, and if we are to free her, we must work quickly. And we must work together. Such is your Lord Uncle's wish.
As it is mine.
Yes, indeed, Cracky. Everything's a little bit dreary. Visually and emotionally. Nice helmet, by the way. Congratulations. How you doing, bud?
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
So, did you have that word with Tomes then?
I did, and he was as helpful as ever. He told me exactly where to look, in fact.
And what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better not to know?
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb known as Saint's Bonnet.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Well, at least it weren't actual worms, I suppose. Now then, you stay right where you are. I've got some cooking to do. Let's hope these grand old chefs of yore knew what they were on about. And here we have it. Fried mortress of skyworm. Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered. He as good as begged.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honor than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
Looks delicious. Ugh. What's up, Wex? Welcome in, man. Yeah, we did it, dude. Thank you for all the help to each and every one of you. And Cracky, I appreciate it, man. We did it.
So, not fit for consumption then?
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet, it is the piquant kiss of the saint's bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force. A force of nature, even. A maelstrom of flavor and sensation. A graceful beast emerging from centuries of slumber.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking. But I reckon you might be right. It was decent then, I take it.
Decent? It's remarkable. And I defy any man to say a word to the contrary.
Contrary.
Might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to foul the gut.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make things worse. I just thought I had to protect you. Like you've protected me.
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for your well-being. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken you on. You've always been me right eye, Goots. And I'd have you stay that way. So don't you dare go looking for trouble again.
Well, I will. If you ever need help, I'll do it again and again, and you can't stop me.
Why, you big lump. Fine. Play the hero if it makes you happy.
Thanks, Nan. I won't let you down.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking out for himself as well. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back, just like you did in Dalamil. Don't think I didn't appreciate that.
Of course. His family.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion today'll cost you the same as it did yesterday. Let me tell you a story, Clive.
Oh my god.
Right.
Them rumours Wetlegs were spreading. Might be they weren't just tales plucked out of thin air. You see, there were a time when I weren't too particular about who I sold steel to, so long as they paid me the right price. Some women lust after blood, others after flesh, but me, I were always one for gold. And to satisfy that lust, I sold to opposing armies, stabbed my every client in the back, made myself the most hated woman in the twins. But then one day I met a man who made me a different kind of offer.
Oh, now the story gets interesting.
Access to a realm-wide community of like-minded individuals in constant need of steel and sundries. On the condition I sold to him and his alone.
Was that the first time you met Sid?
Aye. And I fell right into his damn trap. He was true to his word, so I ended up being true to mine. And I soon started making the best profits I've seen since taking up the trade. And all without aiding or abetting any outlaws. Except Sid himself, that is. Told me about his plan to topple the mother crystals, you know. Said that with them gone, the realm would want for all manner of things. An opportunity for the likes of me to mint gil. Why, I reckon an enterprising individual could find himself the richest dam in the twins. And that's when he had me. I emptied my stores that day and moved into the hideaway proper. And the rest, as they say, is ancient bloody history. A dozen years on, and I'm still not the richest dam. Not for lack of trying, mind. But I can say, I have never been happier. You've all shown me there are some things more precious than gil.
That there are.
So don't you go messing it all up, or you'll have me to answer to. Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. You'll not find a better price than that.
All right, now finally, after all of that, we can move on to the next portion.
You wouldn't happen to have a decent headstone, would you, madam?
So it's these stones to Canva, and the rest of the boxes to Dalamir.
Guardians of the crystal, the first stones of Tabor, sacred hold thy noble blood till ends the mother's labor. Beautiful.
No history would be complete without mention of the mother crystals.
That Cyril fella's an odd fish, don't you think?
Well, scholarly sorts like him always are, aren't they?
How are those new boots treating you?
Children of the hunters, now tillers of the land, reap her promised blessing and give praise her gracious hand. Who doesn't love a hand job?
Farmers must have settled here in Tabor.
Decent quarry's been hard to find since the sky's turned.
Thank you for the deal, Ed, mister.
Wanderers of the golden plains, lay your roots in stone. With pride recall thy noble past, and make these rocks a home.
What golden plains might the wanderers have called home, I wonder? I should speak to the old scholar before I forget everything I've read.
Here's the scraps you were after.
Thanks.
Careful how you pack that leather. Any crystals.
The engravings were in good repair considering their age.
Oh, what that I could have seen for myself. Oh, come, don't tease me now. What did you learn of this place and its people? Let's start with the engraving to the south, shall we? What did it say?
Hello, Avid. Welcome in. Good to see you. I was like, why did that blink? Oh, too much text.
Guardians of the Crystal, the first stones of Tabor.
It'd be nice if we had an actual compass. That would be helpful.
Till ends the mother's labor.
I hate going back and forth with the map. That is another thing I don't like.
It would seem the founders of this city were descendants of those fallen charged with protecting the mother crystals. But whatever could have driven the Guardians so far from their sacred charges, I wonder? The engraving to the north is next, I think.
Wanderers of the Golden Plains, lay your roots in stone. With pride recall thy noble past, and make these rocks a home. Or, I think that was it, at least.
No doubt you're right. There are vestiges of nomadic customs in Tabor its guardian roots could never account for. This is proving most enlightening. Now, for the final stone.
Children of the hunters, now tillers of the land, reap her promised blessing and give praise her gracious hand. That's all three.
And so, we add primitive farmers to Tabor's founding peoples, the final piece of the puzzle. 3 engravings, one for each of the 3 peoples to have settled Tabor in ancient times. Guardians of the Mother Crystal, wanderers from across the plains, and last but certainly not least, hunters turned farmers. Little wonder it was so difficult to trace the roots of Tabor's culture. Those roots reach down through 3 distinct traditions. Nonetheless, one cannot help but wonder why this fact is not better known among scholars, given that the stones stand here for all to see.
Too many stairs, perhaps.
Ha! Too many by far. Here, and thank you.
riveting stuff.
How are those new boots treating you?
So it's these stones to Canva, and the rest of the boxes to Dad.
Cyril, how fares the search?
Well, Your Grace, my report shall be with you ere long.
Ah, yes. Yotei is otherwise engaged, at my behest.
And the duty of wardenship?
Fulfilled. For as you see, I've been reunited with my first shield.
I am Cyril, Knight of the Undying and bearer of the Burning Quill, charged with chronicling the mortal deeds of His Grace, Joshua Rosfield, keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix and rightful Archduke of Rosaria.
I entrusted Cyril here with overseeing the investigation into Ultima's origins. Findings from his brothers and sisters afield are delivered here to be collated and catalogued.
Just how many Undying are there?
Not nearly enough, milady. Yet we are glad to give our all in service to the Phoenix. Such is, and has ever been, our creed.
I see.
You have your associates, I have mine. But you may now think of them as ours. That won't be a problem, will it?
The Phoenix is our sun, and we but the shadows that quicken in his radiance. It is from the darkness that we serve, both him and now you. Pray accept this token. For as long as you bear it, members of our order will reveal themselves unto you, if there is nothing further.
No. You are dismissed.
Your Grace.
To Canva, then.
We'll talk about this later. Cyril seemed very, You certainly keep strange bedfellows, Joshua.
The free cities under sea.
Are you sure this is the right way, brother?
Let's go. Time to fight.
I thought that I had found a place I hadn't been to before. Silly me.
Be safe. My Sator.
Hello, Jamward. Good evening. Welcome in. Thank you all for being here and hanging out tonight. Much appreciated. Hope you're having a good one so far.
Shouldn't have messed with the leader of the pack, eh, boy? Ready, go?
Let us be rid of them.
You deserve a rest.
Make it look easy.
What's up, Knight? Welcome back, bud. Good to see you again. How's your day been going so far? We're just making that progress. We're getting there. make sure I don't miss any brown boxes in this brown valley under this brown sky.
The free men are still holding their own, then.
Do we have any idea where Gav and the others might be?
There's a warehouse near the docks where we agreed to meet if there was any trouble. We should hurry.
Hello, Loki. Welcome back. Oh my god, all these quests. Stop doing this to me. How are we doing, Loki? AV, you can finally see everything? Okay, well, I mean, you know, we'll take what we can get, I suppose.
The free city's under siege.
All right.
No, we're pretty far from done, but we've made some really good progress over the last few streams. I feel like we're entering, like, beyond the halfway point, certainly.
Old he may be, but it looks like there's still plenty of fight in him yet. sooner it's off my hands, the better.
Clive, you were off just a little bit with that petting.
Here's your hide, as requested.
I worried you might never return. Quickly, let me see it. Oh, as supple as a maiden's cheek, yet as adamant as her virtue. This is everything I had hoped for, and more. Clearly, my trust in you was not misplaced. You must be a hunter of considerable talent to have bested the beast with nary a scratch. Join me as my honored partner. With my means and your might, we shall be as wealthy as the merchant kings of Zemeckis.
I don't plan on making a habit of this. I'm busy enough as it is.
Very well. Though I believe fate had a hand in our meeting, it would be unbecoming of me to beg. Do not allow me to keep you from being about your business. Here, for the hide.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and accept these quests that are available, and then we're just going to move on with the story. So let's go talk to these people and get this over with.
What's happened? The guards at the gate are right on.
If we're going to do this, we'll need help.
Clive, your timing is impeccable. It
I'm
just
not a
so
bird.
happens that right at this very moment, we're in need of someone with your talents.
And what talents would those be?
Why, your fearlessness and your skill with a blade.
I'm listening.
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, when these dark skies swept over the Republic, so too did a wave of chaos and confusion. Randalar has been particularly badly affected. Many of the capital's bearers have lost their masters, or taken the opportunity to flee them. None remain free for long, of course. Most find themselves under the protection of the Fist before they get far. But the army too is in disarray, and finds itself unable to provide for its new charges, which means it has been looking to sell.
And you've been looking to buy, to make sure these masterless bearers remain that way.
Precisely. It's the perfect opportunity to free dozens more, and for an attractive price, no less.
So where does my skill with a blade come in?
Though we may have the funds to buy these bearers, we have nowhere to house them. So we've been searching for a place where they can be resettled. Somewhere far from the prying eyes of those who would see them enslaved once more. And we believe we have found one. Cashlock. A small hamlet hidden in a canyon. The place was abandoned a long time ago, but when the men moved out, the beasts moved in.
And so we seek the aid of a fearless swordsman to encourage them to look elsewhere. You'll help, won't you?
How could I refuse?
Excellent. Theo, if you wouldn't mind making arrangements for the transportation of our guests, as we discussed.
Of course. Leave everything with me.
Sounds like you'll have your work cut out for you.
I will. We have an entire village to stock and furnish. Residents and all. Even if I begin right now, I'll be working day and night. So I'd better get started. Try to clear the place out before the wagons roll in, won't you?
I'll do my best.
Emil, I will never tire of that in games like this. The world is about to end, we have to fight the ultimate evil, but real quick,
Wish me luck.
I'm gonna help get this kitty cat out of the tree.
be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need.
You know what you have to do. Clive, I fear that I must bid you farewell. As you know, our time grows short. The Lord Chief Justice's vultures are circling. We must strike now. Before we part, I want you to know that, though I may not always have been your most vocal ally, I trust you, as I trusted your predecessor.
Thank you. I appreciate the sentiment, and I understand more than anyone how you feel. But is revenge really the answer?
It is the one I found, and it is all that I have lived for since that day.
But what of Lostwing? Everything you've built.
I built Lostwing to achieve this aim. Once it is done, the village will have served its purpose. My comrades and I are sure of our cause, and we shall fight to the last, come what may. But there are those among us who cannot fight. Children, the elderly, bearers afflicted by the curse. I would place Lostwing in their hands, if I thought it would do them any good. But a village home only to the frail and the infirm is not likely to stay a safe haven for long. And so, Clive, I find myself turning to you once more. Will you take them to your hideaway, that they might live even should Lostwing die?
I will.
Thank you. I will not have it said that I did not see to the well-being of those who rallied to my cause. The people I speak of have withdrawn to Gotan's Bales, away from danger in case the Black Shields strike.
Understood. I'll make sure they get to the hideaway safely.
Then the last of my preparations are complete. Fare you well, Clive, and may Griga guide us. All of us.
I like how Jill and Joshua just popped up. They loaded into the scene. 10 out of 10. And Emil, it's okay. It left me hanging and with Antissa. Patient.
Ah, Clive. Just the man I was hoping to see.
Oh? And why is that?
You remember how some of Sir Wade's guardians took up residence here after the Akashic attacked? Well, now the rest have come to join him. Seems their barracks in the Lazarus have been lost to an ether flood. Now, I don't mind having a few more brave boys around to keep them animals at bay. I ain't daft after all, but we ain't got nowhere for 'em to bed down. Poor buggers are having to make do with haylofts and chocobo pens. I'd build 'em a new barracks here if I could, but where would I put 'em? There just ain't enough room up here on the rock, which leaves us in a bit of a pickle. The people we're counting on to keep us safe are living like beggars.
I see.
And it ain't just that lot. There's bearers to think about too. There's been more and more of them turning up lately, coming from all over looking for safe haven. But there's only so many we can shelter with the room we've got. We can't keep cramming more and more people into less and less space. What we need is a new home for our new arrivals, and that's what I was hoping you might help me with. If it ain't too much of a burden, of course.
It's no burden.
Thank you, Clive.
So, where were you thinking of making this new home?
Well, I reckon we could do a lot worse than Eastpool.
Eastpool. It's been a long time since I thought about that place.
It was a tragedy, what happened. And if any of us could have done anything to stop it, we would have. But what's done is done. And those who lived there wouldn't have wanted the village they loved to be left in ruins.
I suppose you're right.
The blight might be pressing in, but I reckon it's got a good few years left in it yet. There's just one problem. A band of cutthroats have made it their den, and they don't seem like they'll be moving on in a hurry. Nasty bastards they are too. I've lost some good men to their raids. Would have sent someone to clear 'em out sooner, if my boys didn't already have their hands full fending off the Akashic. But now we've got a few more guardians of the flame to call on. I reckon it's time we made our move. What do you say? Fancy leading a raiding party?
I do. Eastpool was once home to people I loved. I won't have bandits sully those memories. I'll gladly drive them out of there.
And I know the men will gladly follow you. I've already shared a few thoughts with Sir Wade about how we might be able to win the place back. And I dare say he's got some ideas of his own too. Why don't you go and talk to him?
Of course.
All right. We'll come back to all that. Let's move forward.
Sounds like thunder.
You're late. We're starting to think you'd stumbled off a cliff.
I seem to recall that was you, Gav.
Good to see you. Any trouble on the road?
Nothing we couldn't handle.
I knew you'd come.
Is that who I think it is?
Yes.
Allow me to introduce my brother, Joshua.
Clive's told me all about you. Or even listening most of the time. Name's Midadol, but everyone calls me Mid.
My lady.
Hey?
Ooh, you just got zoned, baby.
My boy.
Uncle Byron.
It's really you. I never thought I'd see the day.
So these Akashic are being controlled.
That's what it looked like. Empty eyes, eerie blue glow. No doubt they were turned, but silent as monks, every last one of them.
Your man here speaks true, Clive. We saw more than a few in this city. They moved in ranks with a purpose, and not of their own.
Ultima's doing.
Perhaps.
What of the city? The people?
Dead, mostly.
Mostly, but not all. A handful managed to lock themselves in their villas before the Horde arrived. Some in the Merchants' District to the west, and a few others on the far bank.
If the Akashic stumble across either hiding place, a few bolted doors won't hold them for long. We need to find them. And quickly.
What do you propose?
We split into two parties. I will make for the Merchants' District, while you look to those across the river. Mind keeping an eye on my brother?
Not at all. We find the villa and try the servants' entrance.
Understood.
And what of us?
Mid, is she fit to sail?
The ship, the Mithril engine could probably do with a few more tweaks.
Then you better work fast. Even if we do reach the survivors in time, they'll never make it to the hideaway on foot.
You leave that to me.
See that Mid doesn't get herself into trouble, would you?
Think I can manage that?
I'll keep him safe.
Looks like you stuck with me, Byron.
That's Lord Rossfield, you little gutter snipe!
Welcome in, Shrapnel. Good to see you. Look at that beautiful helmet you have, bud. Nice.
And you keep Clive safe.
Be careful. Both of you.
You too.
Torgal. Let's find those survivors. They don't stand a chance against those things.
Alright, noted. I do not like those guys.
Get surrounded.
me, boy.
That sounded big. Joshua and Jill must be busy. This one. Leaders gather. There may still be survivors inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are inside the Orc. Maybe we can control it like a mech.
bastard! What does he want?
You've caused quite the commotion. But then I would expect no less from you, Muthos.
You again. I don't believe we've been introduced. You were in my family's crypt, and now you're here, with an army of Akashic thralls.
Manners, Lord Rosfield? They are men, like you and me. Albeit ones unburdened by the wills that drive our kind to madness. They are pure. They are divine.
What?
And they are all that remains.
I had a feeling you would feel that way, AV.
City.
Me too.
Pay for what you've done.
As you wish. I confess I have been very much looking forward to this. Pardon me this indulgence, Your Majesty. The vessel shall not be spoiled. I am Saintman of House Harvard, and you will yield. Or not. As long as you don't hold back.
Help me, boy. To me, boy.
You will forgive me if my performance seems uninspired. It is just that I expected so much more from our chosen one. Perhaps this will kindle your flame? What now? A gift from my liege lord's armory. Gungnir. Watch closely, Mythos. Yes! Yes! To me, boy!
Finally, an exciting one.
The vessel is strong. My liege.
Clive!
You're all right.
As are you, I see. We are, yes.
I'm sorry, but we couldn't save them.
It was over before we arrived.
Well, you did what you could. I fear we were all too late. What's wrong?
Nothing. I hope.
Leaving so soon, Mythos?
It's the king.
Indeed. You may kneel before Barnabas Tharm, Warden of Ash and King of Waloed.
Get back.
Wild and impetuous. I expected more of the boy who bested my Lord Commander. Yet I see why my master covets you so. The power within you, Mythos. The potential.
Stop calling me Mythos.
But Mythos is everything. The cornerstone of all creation. The Lord's vessel. Your purpose.
My purpose? To surrender my mind and body to that thing. No, Your Majesty. My purpose is my own. I made a promise to my friends, to my people. And nothing is going to stand in my way.
You would allow this delusion of free will to bar your path to greatness? Truly, your volition is a cancer. One that must be excised.
Try it.
You are as weak as all the rest.
Joshua!
Oi! Oi! This way! Hurry!
Power beyond reckoning, and they use it as a crutch. Such a waste.
Yeah, Loki, I think he needs to be nerfed.
The phoenix can mend flesh, but the spirit must recover on its own. I'm afraid the rest is up to him. This place is remarkable. Outfitting it must have been no small feat. But why go to such trouble?
That beauty's belly's filled with wonders the world ain't ready for. If the guilds caught wind of what we were up to, they'd all want a piece. All right?
And how is he? Do not blame yourself. He was barely breathing when you brought him here. We would have lost him if it were not for you.
No. Barnabas may have severed nigh every sinew in my brother's body. But he made certain the wounds were not fatal.
Nigh every sinew?
Allow me, your lordship. Don't know what I was thinking, putting you to the trouble like that.
'Tis no trouble carrying comestibles to my ailing nephew.
I know, but you've already done so much for us. Pouring your gale into the hideaway and now the ship. I don't want to take the piss.
You risked your life. And for what? Some girl you hardly know. Why'd you do it? You not mad or something?
I wouldn't go that far.
Clive!
You're awake, my boy. Oh.
All I want to do is help. And the world won't save itself. It was Sid. Your father, who taught me that.
Sounds like him.
Don't you dare do that again.
What of the Royalists?
Fucked off, the lot of them, along with the galleon. With the king on board, no doubt. Behind here, I wouldn't sail without him. Clive. Jill didn't come back.
What do you mean?
She kept the king busy while the others dragged you out.
It's all right, Mid. Jill is fine.
The ether of her icon endures. And as long as it does, we can be certain she is alive.
We must pursue the Black Galleon. Jill will be with the king, I'm sure of it.
Well, good luck catching him, because my ship's going nowhere. It's the Mithril engine. She's got a kick like a wild chocobo and a mind to tear the hull in half.
But do you have an idea?
Well, of course I do. My dad'll have seen this coming a league off. If I had his old writings...
If you had his old writings, you'd be sitting under a fuckload of rubble. The ones Otto didn't save anyway. I suppose you might still have a few pages in his stores.
We'll have to hope it's enough. Do what you can to ready the ship. I'll speak with Otto.
In your condition, you really are mad.
Perhaps. But the world really won't save itself.
Alright, before I go to the hideaway and move on to the next part, give me just a moment and I'll be right back in just a few. In the meantime, once again, thank you all for hanging out tonight. I appreciate you.
Hey! バイハドソン行ってきますと桃太郎急ぐばかりが人生じゃなしコロコロ変わる目的地人生楽ありゃ苦もあるさ博打一筋敵は友
なんだバカ野郎
買わなきゃハドソンワンダープロジェクトチャイナプロジェクトワンダー
画面の中に新しい友達ワンダープロジェクト J12 月9日新発売エニックス
三国志の真実ここに結実三国志4スーパーファミコンで12月9日新登場光栄スーパーファミコンで発売中カプコン
激しく美しく今戦士たちの戦いが始まり果たして最強の戦士は誰なのかセーラームーンスーパー場外乱闘主役争奪戦
帝国とは何か皇帝の正体は今ヒーローチームバトルフォースが最強武装軍団に挑むスーパーファミコンザ・グレートバトル4バンプレスト
友とライバルとそして自分に決着をつけるさらに進化したビジュアルバトルナムコスーパーファミコン悠々白書特別編登場
バイハ
ジオラマチックバトル戦えスーパー助っ人大怪獣物語買わなきゃハ
トさん鳥山明のゴーゴー悪魔敵の攻撃難なくかわす俺が噂のスーパーファミコンゴーゴー悪魔もうすぐ出るよ
Let's get the basketball game. It's really exciting. Wow, it's so powerful. Super Famicom Telebi Anime Slam Dunk 2 and Game Boy.
今度のパズルはとにかくかわいいブロックもアイテムも必殺技も超かわいいハートブロックをどんどん消して3つのタリスマンを早く集めてねあらあらセーラームーンスーパーくるっくりん
Gonna have to give me a copy of that Sailor Moon Super. Alright, let's go.
Right. Gav said that Otto might know something.
Clive. If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. It'd better all be here. Is that all?
Trouble with your gear, or what do you want? No scratches, all right? My best work, but it'll do. Should last you a good while. No scratches, all right? My best work, but it'll do. Yeah, that should do you.
And?
If it's knowledge you seek.
Cole said it was an army of Akashi.
How are we supposed to do our duty when the hills are cruel? How indeed.
How may I help you today, Clive? Here you are. Come again. I may have more for you.
Clive? But if you're here, where the hell is everyone else? Don't tell me.
They're all right, but it's a long story.
You lot don't do things by halves, do you? Well, at least everyone's still breathing. Now, as for these writings, I'm sorry to say, Clive, but if you had those, you'd be...
Sitting under a pile of rubble, I know.
But we were able to save a few bits and pieces from the ruins, most of which ended up being used to build this place. The more personal items we gave to the next of kin. In the case of Sid's things, that would have been mid.
Then I'll check the workshop.
If Amber and the Lazarus are gone, do you think Mid's ship will ever sail?
This looks like it's from Sid's old diary. But you'll already have read it. I'd better keep looking. What do we have here? Oh, Sid's pipes. Something tells me Mid won't be needing these.
We've had no word from Canva for days. Please tell me it is all right.
I know this is your hideaway, but you really shouldn't be in here. If Mid caught you rifling through her research, she'd have your head. Then mine for letting you.
That leather loosener was only the first of the discoveries the Alembics gonna help us make. Just you wait, Sid. Just you wait!
I remember remember seeing this doll in Sid's cellar. I wonder if it was Mid's. Huh. What's this tucked inside it?
Minador. I know you like your riddles, so I reckon you'll appreciate this one. Of all my inventions, this one's the best. And so when choosing its place of rest, I recalled your opus, daughter dearest. And now it sleeps there in the first. I'm going to have to work on that last rhyme. Good luck. Sincerely your pappy, Sid.
Sid's best invention. That sounds promising. So Sid hid something in Mid's first opus. But what would that be? Perhaps Otto might know.
Well, did you find anything?
Possibly. You wouldn't happen to know what Mid's first opus was?
Opus? That girl's as tone deaf as a banshee. Unless you mean the orchestrion. She couldn't have been more than, what, 11, 12 when she cobbled that thing together? It surprised us all. Not least her dad. You should have seen how proud he was of the little scamp. What's that battered old box have to do with anything?
I think Sid may have hidden something inside it.
Wouldn't surprise me. Those two and their bloody treasure hunts. Half the things in the hideaway were hidden one time or another.
I didn't break it. Well, I didn't break it.
What didn't you break?
Nothing. We didn't break nothing. We definitely didn't break the orchestrion.
What's wrong with it?
It's broken. Except when it isn't. See?
And you had nothing to do with this?
Nope. Nothing. We just wanted to listen to all the songs at once. So we pressed all the buttons. Like this. See?
All too well. All right, out of the way. Something caught on one of the gears.
Did you break it? Can you fix it?
No, I mean, yeah, yes. There. How about now?
You fixed it! Sid fixed it! He more than fixed it! Yeah, new music!
Huh. Never heard this one before.
It started playing when I removed this. Whatever it is.
Well, don't look at me. I can tell you it's important, though. Sid showed it to me once and said as much. Said it was the stuff dreams were made of. Let's just hope it's the stuff ships are made of as well.
Indeed. Let's see if we can make some dreams come true.
Just the two I was looking for.
Aye, aye. Lose a patient?
Actually, yes. The Crown Prince just left.
Dion left?
Unless you've another word for stood up and walked off. Yes, left. He did have the decency to leave a message with Obelisk before commandeering one of his dinghies. Should we go after him?
No. We're not the Prince's keepers. He's free to do as he sees fit.
I'd rather he did so in bed. His wounds are nowhere near healed. Much like yours, I suspect. Otto told me what happened in Canver. What is it with this realm's princes and their aversion to rest?
Ask me when I get back. Though I may be sometime.
Then at least try to stay safe.
And if that fails, try to stay alive, eh?
Every moment I waste here, the further the flagship sails. I have to get back.
He's a surly soaker.
The realm's crops are all being harvested early.
Sid, do you recall the flowers I had you bring back to the yard?
Vaguely. Is something wrong?
I'm afraid so. I was able to get most of the Morganbeards to take root, but they rarely flower. I fear the soil here does not agree with them. However, I believe I have a solution.
I can't wait to hear it.
I'm going to marry the Morganbeards with Morbles. I know, but hear me out. Morbles are possessed of a highly choleric temperament. The fire which drives them appears to be maintained by an abundance of nutrient-rich ether drawn from their environs. I believe that by grafting a Morble vine to a Morganbeard, the appendage's wealth of vigor-inducing nutrients might well stimulate the flower to bloom. The endeavor, I assure you, is scientifically sound. I simply need a vine to prove the theory.
And all you need is a single vine from an ordinary Morble.
That is correct. A single vine. As for the Morble, I fear ordinary may not suffice. But, as luck would have it, a most extraordinary specimen is rumored to haunt the swamps of Rosaria. Why, a notice concerning this very creature was only recently posted on the hunt board.
How timely.
Well, I shan't keep you any longer. I know you have much to do, as do I. Now, where did I put my watering can?
Sid! Heard you were in Canberra fetching young Ned.
Miss Shirley, how can we learn to be friends?
If Amber and the Lazarus are gone.
She can't kick this. Glory to Griga. There you are. And not a moment too soon.
What's happened?
Taya's busy working herself into an early grave. Since the arrival of her latest patient, she's refused to stop, even for a moment. I've tried offering to see to him in her stead, but she won't hear of it. Clive, she hasn't left the infirmary in days. She's pushing herself too hard. And if she doesn't rest soon, will you talk to her? Order her to her chambers if that's what it takes. Because if she keeps this up, I fear the hideaway will be without its best physica before too long.
I know better than to order Taya to do anything. But I'll speak to her.
Thank you. I pray you have better luck than I did.
Well, Taya, Rodriguez worried about you. And if what he says is true, then so am I. We all admire your dedication, but you do need to rest.
I will, when it's time. Until then, I'm staying put. We owe him that much.
Who is he?
Someone from my past. Someone who doesn't deserve to die alone. It won't be much longer. The crystal's curse has almost finished its work. If I had the tears, I could ease his passing. But without them, we've nothing that will touch the agony of those last few hours.
How would tears help this man?
Not my tears. Tears of mercy. Alicia. It's the only thing strong enough.
You wouldn't, Taya. Surely. There must be something we can do for him.
Sometimes an easy death is the greatest kindness we can offer. You do well to remember that, Rodrigue.
I will. We have all the ingredients we need for Alicia Balwam. It needs to be fresh, though, so we rarely have much to hand. I can make the draft if you can bring me what we're missing.
Just tell me what you need.
There is a species of venom-weeping spider that lives in the forests of Norvent, near Lorbert's Pass. Bring me one of their eyes. Preserve it as best you can, but avoid contact with the tears. I'll make sure the other ingredients are ready before you return.
Thank you, Clive. I won't forget this.
All right, Clive. Blackthorn told me you helped him out again. It's half of that. Speaking of which, I'm actually a bit,
Worried about him. And you want my advice?
afraid so. It's a bit of a funny one, this, but I saved this posh knob while I was out on a mission, and he gave me this flashy ring to say thank you. So, obviously, I show it to Blackthorn, thinking he'll be impressed, only for him to go white as a sheet and quiet as a curl instead. Try as I might, I can't for the life of me work out what could have got him upset like that. And seeing as how Blackthorn opens up when you're around, I thought maybe...
I'd speak to him again. Well, I suppose there's no point leaving him to stew.
Cheers, Clive.
I'll be sure to pay him a visit as soon as I have a moment.
All right, I'll meet you by the forge then. You come along when you're ready.
Welcome back, AV. Guess what? It's time for more quests. Oh my god.
Cole said it was an army of Akasha.
If it's knowledge you seek.
Bloody hell, Clive. Not this again. Oh, ain't you got better things to do with your time?
That remains to be seen. August tells me he showed you a ring, and that the sight of it clearly upset you. Would you mind telling us why?
Come on, mate. Bottling it
Because
up
he's
ain't no
insecure.
one.
We've all figured
If it
this
weren't
out
the
by now.
ring, and it was something I said, then I'm sorry.
It was the ring, right? It brought back some unhappy memories, that's all. Memories better left forgotten.
Memories of what?
There are things we'd all rather leave behind, Blackthorn. But sometimes it helps to talk about them.
And sometimes it doesn't. Is that so hard to understand?
Don't be like that.
Fine. If it'll get you off my back. That ring you flashed was the work of Zoltan. We apprenticed together, back in the day.
You've never mentioned him before.
Why would I? Ain't seen him in decades, and the last time I did, we almost came to blows. The ring brought it all back. I could tell it was one of his the moment I saw it. Vast has improved, though. More than I thought possible. That thing's a work of art.
So it was a nice ring. Worth a few gil, maybe. What's it matter to you?
It matters because engraving metal's a nightmare, and I've got no bloody idea how he managed it. The fact is, I couldn't make anything even half that detailed.
So what? You're an armorer, not a jeweler.
I'm the Hideaway's master craftsman. I'm not stealing a living at some backwater village forge. My armor keeps you lot safe, and my swords keep you dangerous. As far as I'm concerned, every swing of my hammer's another blow struck in the name of our cause. So I put my heart and soul into my work, because the curse breakers deserve better than second best. And I refuse to be shown up by the likes of Zoltan.
Very well. Why don't we go and pay him a visit?
I doubt he'd be too happy to see me.
Then just this once. Make peace with being second best. Swallow your pride. And focus all your energies on the task at hand, keeping the curse breakers armed and armored. Provided you can do that, you'll hear no complaints from me. But if you can't, and it's going to distract you, we need to do something about it.
What'd you say, Blackthorn? You know he's right, and it's not like you'll be going alone.
All right.
Magic. So, where do you reckon old what's-his-name is then? Zoltan, was it?
In Dravozd, my old village. He won't have left. He's the chief.
Dravozd, eh? That rings a bell. Not far from Tabor, right? Just north of the fields of Carava. Got that, Clive? Meet us at Dravozd as soon as you can, yeah? And I'll make sure Blackthorn don't get cold feet.
Good luck with that. I'll see you there.
If it's knowledge you seek.
Let's go. Straight home now.
Let's get this vine back to the yard.
Yeah, you have status ailments in this game for like, what, 10 seconds tops, and it's like, alright, never mind, you're fine.
So Wade, it's good to see you well.
And you, Lord Rossfield. And you.
I spoke with Martha. She tells me you have plans to free Eastpool and make it your own.
That's right, though it was mostly her idea. I rather fear my men have been treading on her toes somewhat since joining us. Not to mention each other's. And then there are the bearers, men and women who found the courage to flee their masters and sought refuge here. We need somewhere to settle them, and I can think of worse places than Eastpool.
As can I, which is why I agreed to help you win it back.
That's very kind of you. I'd be most grateful if you would. With you beside us, we shall soon send that rabble of rogues running for the hills.
So, what can you tell me?
That thankfully there aren't too many of them. Fewer than a dozen at our last count, and rather less, thankfully. The road that leads there will more than likely still be crawling with Akashic. A small force would suffice to clear the village, but if the Akashic were to follow them in, that force could end up trapped between a rock and a very hard place indeed.
I'll head into Eastpool and deal with the bandits. You and the Guardians can stay outside the village and fend off any Akashic who come too close. Make sure I'm not taken unawares.
I can't ask you to bear all that risk yourself, my lord.
The Akashic are the bigger risk. I can handle a few bandits.
Well, if you're sure, I shall summon my men at once.
Shall I wait for you here?
No need, my lord. You go on ahead. We'll be with you before long.
All right. I'll meet you at Eastpool then.
We shall see you there. And may victory await our coming.
Nod.
In here.
You will leave Eastpool now, or face the consequences. Stay down. Get up. This. That's the end of that, then. Or maybe not. What's that thing doing here? Doesn't matter. It goes too. To me, boy!
Dude, those sticky hands were so much fun to play with for like 15, 20 seconds. Kind of like a status effect. It was over before you knew it.
Any more surprises? I'll take that as a no.
Bravo. A magnificent display, my lord.
You were watching? I thought you were keeping an eye out for a Kashik.
We were. Put down more than a few on the road, then arrived just in time to see you slay that... whatever it was.
Its name was Two Scoops, thank you.
The last of its kind. Though I expect you and the Guardians will be up to the challenge should another appear.
I would hope so, my lord.
Your men will be bringing the bearers who'll be living here, I assume. It might be best to send word for them to come right away, before any other unsavory characters move in.
Of course. I'll send orders for them to depart immediately. Leave it with me, my lord.
Home. Without masters.
No. We're the masters now. Our lives are our own at last.
That's all of them. And not a single Akashek in sight. Now to begin the important work of rebuilding the place. It won't be easy. Especially not after 5 years of beasts and blackguards having their wicked way with the place. The masonry might still be sturdy enough, but half the beams are rotted. Those that weren't lost in the fire or burned by the bandits, that is. It'll take a bit of elbow grease. But we'll see Eastpool rise again. Just you wait.
So wait. Lady Hannah is buried here. If you don't mind, I'd like Oscar to join the rebuilding efforts. He should be a part of this.
Of course. I couldn't agree more.
I'll let Martha know that everyone arrived safely. If you need anything more, you have only to send a Stolas.
And we will, my lord. Safe travels.
Eastpool is in safe hands. Time to go and tell Martha the good news.
So talking about those sticky hands reminded me of something. I remember there used to be little mini books that you could get out of like the quarter vending machines. Just tiny little itty bitty books. They didn't have any actual writing or anything in them. Like little pieces of watercolor artwork. I was fascinated by those for some reason.
Ah, there you are. All went well then. Sir Wade told me you got rid of the bandits while his lot kept an eye out. Nicely done. And what's all this about some shape-shifting nightmare showing up? On second thoughts, don't tell me. It'll only give me nightmares of my own. What matters is you did it. And now we can build our new village.
I suppose it will be. What will you call it?
What else? Eastpool. Sir Wade said it best. There's plenty bad happened to that place. But that don't undo the good that happened there. No need to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Did Wade say that?
Well, something along those lines. Anyway, the poor souls might have made it to Eastpool, but their work ain't done yet. So the way I see it, neither is mine. If it's food or lumber or strong backs they need, the rest is ready to provide it.
Thank you, Martha.
No, thank you. You didn't have to help us.
I wanted to.
Well, it's quite a list. Especially that last one.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. Best stock up one. It'd better all be here. You'll not find a better price than that.
He's a surly soaker.
Sid, I can't help but notice that your satchel is twitching in a most violent manner.
Oh, you noticed, did you?
Here. It's your problem now.
What an amazing specimen. The flesh positively throbs with vitality.
Oh my.
I can successfully graft this to the Morganbeards. When I successfully graft this to the Morganbeards, I suspect the results will be immediate. I shall begin at once. It is just as I hoped. Witness how the Morganbeards have taken to the blighted soil. How they bloom with heretofore unseen vigor. Why, I dare say such a vine graft would yield similar results when applied to other specimens as well.
I'm glad I could be of assistance.
You've not only helped us, Sid. You've saved us. Do you recall the extract with which I provided you before? I took a moment to distill some more, but this time with the petals from the invigorated Morganbeards. And would you believe? Its potency has nearly doubled. You must accept this vial as thanks for your assistance. The rest, I shall give to Taya.
Kicked down already?
No. This charmer ain't letting anyone through.
Why are the gates closed?
Chief's orders. No one's allowed in without his say-so. Not that I'd have let you in anyway. You look like trouble. I suggest you go home.
That's what I'm trying to do, you little prick. Ain't changed a bit, have you, Snotty?
No. It isn't. Blackthorn.
Long time no see, eh?
What the hell are you doing here?
Well, it was meant to be a surprise, but since you asked so nicely, I'm here to see Zoltan, you fucking numbskull. Now let us through.
All right. Just don't go starting anything with the chief.
Yeah, I promise I won't throw the first punch. That good enough for you?
Go on then.
Much obliged.
So this is Dravaged. Not much going on, is there?
It's a smithing town. When I was a lad, You'd have to shout to be heard over the sound of hammer on anvil. Clive, you're good with people. You speak to Sultan.
Hey, you ain't backing out now, are you?
There's a river of bad blood between me and the chief. But if someone can build me a bridge, then I'll cross it.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
I appreciate it. It'll be near the forge on the hill. It was our master's. He'd have inherited it when I left.
Forge on the hill.
Good luck. You'll be needing it.
But if we can't find the forges...
I have some things for sale. Farewell, traveller. Isn't there anything we can do to help?
That's my obituary written then.
Hotter! Hotter, damn it! Those miserable flames wouldn't melt butter, let alone iron.
Pardon the intrusion. I'm looking for the chief.
That'd be me.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'll bet it is. Keep the gates closed, I tell him. Well done, Snotty. You're not welcome here. Get out. Before things turn nasty.
Blackthorn's here.
What did you say?
He's traveled a long way to see you.
Yes, has he?
He's waiting. Down by the gates.
Then I suggest you take him with you when you leave.
Didn't you apprentice together?
So what if we did?
Fuck! We're getting nowhere. These bearers' flames are next to bloody useless.
We're never going to be able to fire up the forges unless we can find some new crystals.
I'm a busy man, as you can see, so do me a favor and piss off. Oh, and if you're struggling to find your way out, ask Blackthorn. That prick knows exactly where the exit is. He's not wanted here, and neither are you.
All right. I'm going.
Please, Chief, you've got to do something.
Mama, why hasn't Papa come back?
But if we can't find the forges, how are we going to earn our keep?
Shut! Let me guess. Zoltan told you to piss off.
As a personal favor to him, yes.
Well, at least he didn't beat about the bush.
There'll be no talking him round. Not after what I did.
Which is what exactly? If we're to help, we need to know. What turned the village against you?
I left. Dravozd. Zoltan. The burden of leadership our dying master dropped in our laps. All of it. There are two kinds of smiths in this world, you see. My kind, who are in it for the love of the craft, who labour on a single piece from dawn to dusk to get it just right. And the other kind, who are in it for different reasons. People like Zoltan, whose work is quick and cheap. The kind of smiths who shit out a few hundred blades, reap the profit, and divvy it out among themselves. There wasn't a single day we weren't at each other's throats, and bit by bit, people started taking sides. You would have torn Dravozd in half had it gone on. So, I left.
You didn't have to do that.
Zoltan's a better chief than I would have been. His way of doing things kept food on people's tables. Dravozd prospered without me and my lofty ideals getting in the road. Until the crystals run out at any rate. Without magic to fire the furnaces, this place is as good as dead.
It depends on how you look at it, though. There's got to be other ways of making fire. We manage it in the Deadlands.
Thanks to Sid's ingenuity, yeah. He saw all of this coming. Knew crystals were the problem, not the solution. And spent years coming up with ways of doing without.
You know what I mean, though, right? Where there's a will, there's a way. What I'm trying to say is that it's not your fault. You couldn't have predicted this.
It doesn't matter whose fault it is. I don't want to be the greatest smith alive just because I happen to be the last. Clive, Dravosh won't last long without its furnaces. So, do you think it's time we shared Sid's bellows with the world? The way I see it. It's your decision to make.
Hold on, Blackthorn. Sid made those things for us. They give us an edge over the rest. And you'd be throwing it away.
All right. Do it. This place was your home. I won't abandon it to its fate. Sid's creations were never meant to be hoarded. It was only ever a matter of time before we shared them. Let this be another step on the road to freeing Valisthea from the prison of the Crystal's blessing. Dravost will show the world that it's possible. Wouldn't you agree, August?
When you put it that way, of course. It's like hearing Sid speak from beyond the grave.
Thank you, Clive.
Shall I go and fetch the plans, then?
I know I'm off by heart. I'll be needing some help, though. Building a furnace isn't exactly a one-man job. Do us a favour and round up anyone strong enough to lug a brick or two with you, August.
All right, then.
And I've got a job for you too, Clive. Finding me some salamander skin. I need leather for the bellows and nothing else will withstand the heat. Luckily for us, salamanders feed out in the fields of Karava.
Time for a spot of hunting, then.
Well, AV, thank you for hanging out. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourself.
Let's go.
You too, good night.
Let's make this quick, shall we? Too slow. This one. This one. Get him. This one. Get him. Dare say that would be enough for a decent set of bellows.
What's this all about then?
Don't know. Any trouble finding the skin?
Nothing I couldn't handle.
There should be plenty. Right then, time to put these louds to work. If everyone pulls their weight, we'll be finished in no time.
Well, I'll be damned. I honestly didn't think it'd work. But it's hot enough, all right. And without a single crystal in sight.
You know what this means, don't you?
I do, yeah. Dravost is saved.
Sorry about earlier. Take back everything I said. That thing you built us is an honest-to-God's marvel. You saved our village.
It's Blackthorn you should be thanking. He oversaw the construction.
Give this to him, would you?
What is it?
Pit coal cinders. After he left, I spent years trying to eke the most out of our forges. That there was my answer. Chuck it in the fire, and your forge will burn hotter for longer, which will do wonders for your steel. Our secret for yours. Only fair. I've always envied Blackthorn. Since the day I became chief, I spent every spare moment trying to match up to the bastard. No amount of sleepless nights at the anvil will ever bridge that gap, though. He's a genius. Plain and simple. The man Dravost needed. But he took all his talent and left. Gifted and free. Is it any wonder I hate his guts?
The cinders would mean more coming from you.
I need to forgive him first. And that's not gonna happen.
Well, you know what they say. Oriflamme weren't built in a day and all that. These things take time. Especially when they involve two geezers who hold grudges tighter than their hammers. But what matters is, Blackthorn's got that twinkle back in his eye. And I'd call that a job well done.
So would I.
I reckon he's going to be at it a while yet, though, so why don't you head off without us? I'll see that the old git gets home safe and sound.
See that you both do. I'll save the cinders till then.
All right. It'll be a nice little surprise for him.
Bloody hell. How's it staying so hot without a crystal?
Gentlemen, I see you both made it home in one piece.
Yeah, well, we didn't want to outstay our welcome. The whole village turned out for a go on the bellows after you left. Everyone except Zoltan has. Didn't see hide nor hair of him.
Oh, but that reminds me. I have something for you.
Pick cinder. How'd you come by this? And you're sure he wanted me to have it?
I'm sure. He didn't say so, but I think he wants to forgive you.
Huh. Imagine that. Yeah. You know I could never leave this place, don't you? Every time you put on mail, you and the curse breakers are trusting me with your lives. There's no greater honor for a smith than that. I'm not about to go crawling back to Zoltan for forgiveness, but I will make good use of his cinder. And if that helps save even a single life, then he'll have my gratitude. What was it you said he called me? Huh? A genius? And he spent sleepless night trying to copy me, did he? Sounds like I better get to work. I've got a reputation to uphold.
It's good to see you back on form, Blackthorn.
I don't know how you pair put up with me sometimes, but I'm grateful all the same. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, about to put Zoltan back in his place.
Ain't got the art to tell him how similar they are. Stubborn bastards.
A little healthy competition should be good for him.
You're not wrong. Still, it's a shame him and Zoltan couldn't let bygones be bygones. No use grumbling about it now, though. Blackthorn's happy. Or as near to happy as he gets. And that's good enough for me.
So, what'll it be? And?
If it's knowledge you seek.
All right, that makes it easy enough. I think that we will wrap up those 3 other quests since we're already halfway through with them. And then after we wrap those up, we'll move on to the next part of the story. So make sure to come back next time as we move forward into the next chapter, part 12 of the playthrough. Looking forward to it. I might be able to pop on tomorrow and get that started. And you guys know where to see me for fight night. We'll make it happen. Thanks again for hanging out. Thank you for the subs. Much appreciated. Thank you for getting us to that next level. So let's see how this goes and go from there. Thank you for hanging out on YouTube. Thank you for the likes. Thanks for checking out the videos, the shorts, and taking time out of your day to show a little love and support for the channel. So I will see you guys in the Discord. Enjoy the rest of your evening, the rest of your day, the rest of your morning, whatever it is. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, peace.